Hi, this is James, and my amateur call sign is KG5PTE, and I live in Belton, Texas. And today is Friday, September the 12th, 2025, and I'm running a Yaesu WIRES X node with an HRI-200, along with an FTM-100 that's connected to the HRI-200. So this Yaesu FTM-100 radio over here, excuse me, is connected by the data cables to the HRI-200, which is down here, down here underneath the table. It's down there, right there. There's your HRI-200 and the FTM-100. So there's the hardware down there, power supply. There's the main control for the HRI-200. There's the HRI-200 with the green light on it, and the FTM-100 above it. You got a little cooling fan blowing on the FTM-100, keep it cool. And of course, there's a control head for the FTM-100. And there's our frequency, 145/220, and it is on WIRES X. And here's our WIRES X room. And my WIRES X room number is 02748. Okay, got all that checked. Now you come over here to tools, you go to port check, start, all the ports check out, no problem, close. All right, so we're all good to go here. Now, what I want to do is I want to swing over here and show you real something. I've got my two handhelds, an FT3 and an FT5. I want to point out something to you. On the FT3, Yaesu separates the X button and the GM button on the 3. They separate them. On the FT5, they combine them. I don't know why they did that. This is the FT5 here. This is the FT3. In my opinion, I like the FT3 better. I think it's a better. I like separating the two switches. I don't know why Yaesu recombined them on the 5, but apparently they both works. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do here in just a minute. I'm going to show you the problem. But first, I'm going to read to you the instructions over here on this other computer. So let's go over here to the other computer. Rotate the dial to the A band to the frequency of the desired local node. Caution, WIRES X can only be used on the A band. We got that. Number 5, press the X button. X flashes on the left side of the frequency display. When the local node is found, X is lit solid, and the node name and the city appear on the bottom of the screen. Connected to the local node but unable to connect to the internet nodes or rooms never before established connection to the internet nodes or rooms. 12. Connected to the local node but not unable to connect to nodes or rooms previously succeeded in establishing connection to internet nodes or rooms. This is the instructions for the FT3. Okay, this is it. This is our manual. This is our main manual right here, 4, that you download from Yaesu. Instruction manual for the WIRES X edition for the FT3. And you come down here to page 8. I believe it's page 8. It tells you how to do this stuff. All right. Right there's your instructions. Now, if you come over here to the Yaesu 5, I'll pretty much tell you the same thing. Press and hold the F menu, touch the WIRES X 5 DGID. The WIRES X DGID settings screen will be displayed. Rotate the dial to the WIRES X DGID to the same ID number as the station. I'm going to tell you something. Some of these Yaesu manuals are worse than Air Force technical data. I was in the Air Force for 20 years, and I could read Air Force TOs better than I can read some of Yaesu's instruction manuals. I'm going to be flat out honest with you. They are I can read this stuff. I know what they're trying to say, but I don't understand. They seem to run you in rabbit trails too many times. Yaesu has does not write very good manuals. The Japanese, whoever writes their manuals for them, come on now. That's the Air Force and the military can write better instruction manuals than the Yaesu sometimes. I'm just saying. I like their radios. I buy their radios, but at the same time, I have a right to be a critic because if I'm going to buy your stuff, well, yes, I'm going to criticize it. So press the PTT, returns the screens to the frequency display screen, rotate the dial to the A-band frequency of the desired local node. All right. Press and hold the GM/X key down. Again, there's the combined button on the FT5. So let's try that. Let's see what happens when I press this. Well, that was a mistake. Let me go back. Let me hit back. So we're going to press the X button, and let's see what happens on the FT3. Press it, release. Nothing. Nothing. All right, I'm going to hold it down. Nothing. I don't see it doing anything on my WIRES X node. I read you the instructions over here. I'm on. Well, back. My bad, my mistake. Let me get on the right frequency. 145, 220. Let's try this again. Now we are on 145, 220. My mistake. My mistake. Let's try this again. All right, I see a GPS flashing up there, and I see a blue light coming on. All right, I'm pressing and holding the X button, but I don't see any X button on the screen doing anything. So somebody tell me what's going on here. All right, let's try it on the FT5. So we're on the right frequency this time. I guess I fat-fingered the FT3 and changed the frequency to the Shark RF, but I changed it back to 145, 220. Now we're going to try it on the FT5. Let's try and press to hold the X button down. All right, there it worked. So it did what it was supposed to do. Why didn't it do that on the FT3? I do not know, but this is what I was trying to demonstrate. This is what they're talking about in the instructions that it's supposed to do. So whatever I just did here, I guess I connected to something. I'm not sure. So, and I guess if you press and hold it again, it gets it out of direct mode or whatever, X mode or whatever it's called, or where you're pinging your radio or pinging your whatever it's called, the node. I still got a lot to learn on this WIRES X stuff. So let's press and hold the X button down again on the FT3. It's not doing anything. And I guess the back button is supposed to get you out of something too. Or the band button. Maybe it's the band button. But it doesn't seem to be responding to anything. Band doesn't respond. Back doesn't respond. X doesn't respond. And this is the FT3. So thanks for watching. Maybe somebody can give me some ideas on this subject matter. But all I know is from what I've seen on some of the videos, they say you got to hit the X button. You got to hit the X button when you're playing with WIRES X. You got to hit the X button. So there's my frequency. That's this. Like I said, this FTM-100 radio is connected to the HRI-200, which makes it a chunk. Basically, this radio does nothing anymore. Once it's connected to the HRI-200, it is no longer usable. You can probably disconnect, take the microphone out of it, and don't even need it. And I do have like a little antenna outside the window out there. So it's right outside the window to connect so that these radios can communicate with the HRI-200. But hey, you're supposed to be able to hold this X button down and get some sort of light flashing or some sort of X button to come up on your screen. And this is, like I said, this is the FT3. A while ago I was on the wrong frequency, but I'm on the right frequency now. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.